can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe.
All right, today we have special guest Malik Hamner, defensive lineman of the New Jersey Generals. Malik was just drafted in round 4 of the inaugural USFL draft following a whirlwind week that saw him receive his request to sign a contract less than 7 days prior to the draft. Malik, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I definitely cannot complain. This has been a pretty awesome day as far as I'm concerned getting you on here.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to start with your background before we get into your reaction on your selection in round 4. So I've been doing a lot of research on you, kind of looking into your college background, your high school background here and there. I noticed a stat that just blew my mind. You actually had 3 blocked field goals in one game during college.
That's yeah. That was one of my best games. I was astounded that game. I didn't even believe I could do that.
Is there like a special technique you have to that, or is it just your quick burst off the line and your long arms?
That game, I noticed on the first field goal they kicked that they would split down the middle. So the snapper, he would just keep his head down. He would never look up. And the guard that was next to him used to go down to the right, especially if you had somebody shoot that gap. So I switched places with one of my teammates and told him to shoot that gap hard because I got longer arms. So I had a higher chance to get in there. So I told him to shoot that gap hard, and the guard to go down on him. I just shot every time through a split through the middle of them. So it was just studying how they get their stance and things.
Gotcha. So was that film study pregame, or was that something you noticed during the game itself?
Oh, we went over it during the week a couple times, but we really never zoned in on it because it's rare you block a field goal. But once I got out there, I put the game film with the reality of it in the time, and I seen it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take advantage of it. And that there is what saved us from that loss that game.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So another fact I stumbled across is that actually was not your only blocked field goal. You had 4 total for your whole career. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Man, that's nuts. So anyways, moving on. You were named Defensive Player of the Week 8 times during your career.
Yes,
and
sir.
You were also named All Conference. Is there any honor that you received during your career that stands out above the rest?
I was pretty happy when I got MVP, and I was pretty happy when I got MVP of the Classic game. I was pretty happy about that one too. I'm pretty happy. Those I always everybody want to win MVP, so those was pretty happy for me. Pretty happy moment for me.
Absolutely. Was that a player voted on thing, or was that coaches?
Coaches.
That's even better if you ask me, quite honestly.
Yes, sir.
That means you really showed out. In the prior to the 2019 draft, I had read a story that you actually tore a labrum prior to your pro day and your combine.
Yes, sir.
And you were still able to put up 21 reps of 225 pounds?
Yeah, I tore it the first game against Southern Miss, actually. And I played the whole season like that. But I just knew it was one of those things. This is my senior year, so I got to go all in. But I always had natural strength, but you got to fight through a little adversity, so it was cool.
That's crazy. I mean, that just goes to show you your determination and your willingness to play through injury. I was not aware that was an injury that you suffered early in the season. I was thinking it was more a late season thing that you carried into the combine.
Yes, sir. It was early in the season. First game against Southern Miss.
That's crazy. And you went ahead and played with that all season long. Did the doctors and everything know about it? I mean, obviously they did.
The trainers made me go to the doctor like not that Monday, following Monday, and that's when I did my MRI and all that. They told me just don't lift heavy and go light in practice and stuff like that. They didn't expect me to do all I did, but it was cool. I had to do what I had to do. So
I definitely understand that. So let's see, moving on. You were just under 280 pounds when you went into the combine, and you were able to run a 4.80 40-yard dash, if I'm not mistaken. To put this into perspective, an NFL inside linebacker typically runs about a 4.75. Could you see a scenario where you could line up as a rush linebacker in the USFL?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I love playing. Oh, see, I think I've been an agile person because in high school I played wide receiver and all that. So I think I can. Like 40 is not typically my strong point, just running. I feel like game speed is completely different than, you know what I'm saying, than running a 40. But I definitely feel like I can line up on the outside or even play some outside linebacker and cover the flats.
Definitely interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what Mike Riley decides to do defensive front wise. I've seen that he's actually not carrying a defensive coordinator, so it'll be interesting to see what he chooses to do, and specifically what he chooses to do with you. I mean, you're so versatile that you can basically play just about any position in the front seven. I mean, outside of maybe inside linebacker, and I wouldn't even put that past you, to be quite honest.
Yes, sir.
You have the body type and skill set, as I just alluded to play in many different alignments and schemes. Is there a particular scheme or alignment that you prefer to play, or is it something that you just play whatever the coaches ask you to do and do your
I play
best?
really whatever the coaches ask me to do, but I like a 4-3. I just like we ran a 4-3 like my junior, sophomore year of college. And man, it was like we ran a 3-4 on certain situations, like third and long when we had three guys down that was quick and can pass rush. And I played on that, but 4-3 is more comfortable. I like that because
Okay.
I just feel like everybody just know their job, and the defense, the D line we was unstoppable all the years we played that.
Really? Okay.
So
You said you did play some 3-4. When they lined up in a 3-4, what position did you line up as?
the whole D line. I played nose, I played the end, and we used to line up head up. So wherever you was at, so if you was an end, you didn't line up outside the tackle. You had to line up straight down the middle of the tackle every time. And they was doing it like as a scheme as don't let the offensive lineman know where you're going. So if you're going inside, he never know you line up the exact same every play. You know what I mean? So if you slant outside, slant inside, y'all running a stunt, they never know which way you're gonna go. So it was cool. We ran that, and then pass rush. I played on third and long. They'll line me up at the nose, standing up, or getting down in the three, just to pass rush up the middle, get pressure up the middle.
Interesting. Very interesting. So after the 2019 draft, you went undrafted, unfortunately, but you signed with the Jaguars. Was there something that drew you to them specifically?
No, it was kind of surprising. I believe I talked to like 31 or 32, all 32 teams, which was very surprising to me. Well, I didn't say surprising, but I was excited about it. But I didn't expect the Jags to take me. During the pro day of the Jazz coach, he was really rooting for me, and he was just. I noticed he was paying more attention to me. But I had like before the draft, the night before the first draft, the 49ers and the Dolphins text me and things like that. So I wasn't expecting the Jags to take me.
Really? Interesting. I would not have guessed that, to be quite honest. Now, out of curiosity, in Jacksonville, you worked with Todd Wash and Jason Rebro-Rich. Sorry. Was there anything in particular you learned from either man that helped you remain in the professional world?
Not really. I think they ran a pretty close defense to us, so I caught on to the plays pretty well. To me, if I was to say, and they just always stayed on you tough and emphasize on getting some extra work in, extra film, and things like that.
Absolutely. You said there was a coach in particular in Jacksonville that had his eye on you. Was it one of those men, or was it somebody else that I didn't mention?
It was somebody else. I can't remember his exact name, but it was somebody else.
No worries. Okay, I was reading another interview you did with Victory Formation following the 2019 season. The host of that show actually credited you with being faster following your surgery. Do you second that assessment, or do you think he's just being polite?
No, I second it. I think during my college days, I was a lot of up and down with weights because, like, when I first got there, I was like 240, and they had me in, but we had like 9 ends, so they needed some more 3-techs. So they made me get up to 265. Then they made me drop back down to go to the end. Then they made me drop back, go up again, until I got to a point I was at a comfortable weight. But to put in less words, in college I was more of a thick body guy. I was much thicker. Now I'm more leaned out and I'm more explosive. I've worked on just getting off better and a whole lot more. So I agree with him. I feel like I'm a whole lot faster than what I was in college.
Okay, makes sense. I was going to say, to be completely honest, I'm no judge of size, but you definitely don't look like you're 280 pounds to me.
I get that all the time. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. So there isn't a whole lot of info on your career, kind of as I alluded to before. Can you fill us in where you've been playing, practicing, training since you left the Jaguars up until present day?
Yes, sir. I went to Tampa for a little while, and I went to the USFL trial in Tampa too. And it's pretty much after the 2020 season of that. I didn't stay there long, there in Tampa too long. After I left there, that's when I really went and had my surgery. My agent referred for me to go have a surgery. Go have my surgery, get out the way, get healthy, and things like that. So pretty much that's why I told you, like in 2021, I really I didn't go anywhere because I was just healing, you know what I'm saying, and getting back 100%. And that's what I did in my 2021 season. But this will be my next biggest debut.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I got to be honest, more often than not, you see a play, a year or two off hurt a player, but obviously it hasn't hurt you in terms of coaching and overall reputation, obviously, because you went on to be selected by the USFL.
Yes, sir.
So it sounds like you made the right decision getting healthy and right for the draft.
Yes,
so I also stumbled across another fact that during the 2022 USFL draft, you were the first of 8 HBCU players selected. What does it mean to you that you were the first to represent this level of play across the country?
That means a lot to me, honestly. Going to the HBCU, it was a dream. It was a dream come true. It was a different environment. I'm not gonna say a different environment, but it was one of the best experiences I can ever take. And that's a lot of great players and a lot of great talent in the HBCUs that I think get overlooked a lot. So I'm happy that they would choose me to be the first one off the board out of all the other 7, and I'm very grateful for that.
Absolutely. Just a week ago, you were uncertain you would even be offered a contract from the USFL. Now you were drafted as the 3rd defensive lineman for the New Jersey Generals and defensive head coach Mike Riley. How was the last week for you after spending the 2021 season away from the game?
You said how was the last week?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I didn't expect it to get picked. I just kind of left it in God's hands. But the last week been kind of nerve-wracking, you know what I'm saying? Wonder if you're going to get picked and wonder if somebody's going to choose you and things like that. But still working out hard, training hard like it was just a regular week, pretty much for me.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So I stumbled across a couple facts, obviously. Like I said, I've been doing a bunch of research. Obviously, the Spring League and the USFL are very closely intertwined, being that Brian Woods is now running the USFL. During the Spring League seasons, I'm not sure if you're too familiar with the way they play league ball there. They have a lot of players that will play both defense and offense. Most of those players don't typically have the offensive background that you do as a tight end and a wide receiver in high school. If Coach Riley comes up to you in a game and asks you to step in as a lead blocker, would that be something you'd be comfortable doing, or is that something that's
I get out there and do it. Before I went to D-line, I loved playing offense. I played tight end, and I loved it. I'm not going to tell the story. I loved playing tight end because I'm great at blocking.
Really?
But I also have good hands to be my size, so I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Well, I, for one, hope it happens. I would love to see you out there as like a fullback or a tight end again. It would be pretty sweet.
Me and you both.
Well, are you going to be campaigning for any sort of two-way role, or will you just let the coaches come to you?
I'm not going. If he asks me or so, I'm going to raise my hands, but I'm not just going to run up to him and be like, "Hey, throw me out there at tight end." If they need me there, I'm down to go. I'm real to do whatever is best for the team.
Makes sense. I mean, honestly, with the smaller rosters in the USFL, I think it's only 38 players they're carrying total. You might see some time on offense. It wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, I'm with it.
Definitely. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you spending time with me today and discussing your career and your selection in the USFL draft. I wish you the utmost success at the USFL level, and I can't wait to see you line up as a member of the Generals this season. Is there anything else you want to say or anyone you want to shout out before we hop off here?
Nah, I appreciate you taking the time out and choosing me to be the interview host today. And thank you for wishing me the best of luck. And I can't wait to get out here and show people what I'm missing out, what they missed out on this last season. But that's about it.
Cool, man. Once again, I appreciate you coming on. And if you don't mind, I want to stay in touch and hopefully have you on down the line in the season after you win a couple more Player of the Weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good, man. You have a good rest of your day. And once again, I appreciate it so much. I can't even begin to tell you how much.
Yes, sir. You do the same.
Have a great day, man.
They say anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my fucking mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase that, face it. I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe.